Jump back!
Hey guys, it's Jay to the Jumbuck here with another trip down nostalgia lanes put in your brain. I'm so sorry for the delay, but today we're going to go through the big one, the Magnificent 7, 7th Heaven, 7-Eleven. No, it's Final Fantasy 7, the remake! Now, to make some disclaimers. This review is being made by someone whose favourite game of all time was Final Fantasy 7, the original, for more than 10 years. Now that the disclaimer's out of the way, I have a very bold statement to make. This game is not a remake. This game is a reimagining. So what's the difference, you ask? Well, in my opinion, a remake stays true to the source material for the most part with a few enhancements, probably graphically and audio-wise, maybe tinkering with the story a little bit, but essentially keeping the game the same. For example, if I was to apply my theory to this video, it might look something like this.
Jump back!
Hey guys, it's Jay to the Jumbuck here with another trip down nostalgia lanes put in your brain. I'm so sorry for the delay, but today we're going to go through the big one, the Magnificent 7, 7th Heaven, 7-Eleven. No, it's Final Fantasy 7, the remake! And this is what I do for the reimagining. Well, not exactly what I do. I'm going to give this one a Tiger King theme, just for everybody's enjoyment. Jump Buck and fucking Carol Baskin. Hey guys, it's Jay to the Jumbuck here with another trip down nostalgia lane to put into your brain. I'm so sorry for the delay, but it's fucking Carol Baskin's fault. She killed her fucking husband. Today we're gonna go through the biggest one we got, the head honcho, the big liger in the little cage. We are going for Final Fantasy 7. Now I just gotta say that this game would be a hell of a lot better if Carol Baskin was dead. Now I hope I've somewhat made my point into what I mean by reimagining, that everything's a lot different to what it started. And things started the same, but they've gone in all sorts of directions. But now we're going to bring it back to where we started and try to get some sort of order in this video. I hope in my own overly dramatic way I've managed to describe to you what I think the difference between a reimagining and a remake is.
I don't need to tell you what this is, right?
Of course not.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gather around for the splendor that is the magnificence of Final Fantasy VII Remake's visuals. Feast your eyes on these delightful visuals. There is literally nothing wrong with the graphics in this game. It's goddamn beautiful. From the pores in the character's skin to the colors of the materia, Square have brought my favorite characters back to life. All of the characters look amazing, and the detail that they've put into each and every one is fantastic. Square have done an amazing job. While you're walking around in the Final Fantasy world, sometimes you find yourself just stopping to look around. If I'm being overly hyperly critical, I can find one or two things throughout the world that weren't quite done in the detail that I desire, but I'm not even going to worry about that, because what they've done to make this game look how it looks is absolutely fantastic. Alright, there is something that I would have liked them to keep the same from the original to this one. I know, stop. No, don't compare the pair, but yes, I am going to compare the pair. The original Midgard was unnaturally lit for the entire time you were there, and if they didn't mean it, that's how it came across. It was terrifying. It felt like you were in George Orwell's world, and the feeling of doom and gloom was everywhere in abundance because there was no natural light, which of course changes the feeling of Midgard. In the remake, there seems to be far more natural light, which changes the entire ambience and feel of Midgard. If I could pick between the two, I would prefer that they had kept it how they had it in the original Final Fantasy, just to keep that lifeless steel concrete jungle feel that is Midgard. A lot of you are probably thinking, is that a visual thing or is that something to do with the gameplay? I'm going to go with visuals in this because I think it's the visual ambience that adds to or takes away from the gameplay. But for the time being, we're sticking with this as a visual problem. And I use the term problem very loosely, because some people will absolutely disagree with me, and I see your point. I understand where you're coming from. We're friends, we're still friends, don't worry guys, I get it. I'm just saying, from my perspective, it would have been a bit better if it just stayed the same. But bringing this narrative full circle, I have to say the visuals in this game are absolutely spectacular, and I love them. Now onto the sound, and this is another masterclass for all of us. The remade songs have been upgraded for this game, and they've been remade in a way that I just can't complain about. You are currently listening to a song called Scorpion Sentinel playing in the background. The voice acting in this game is 10 out of 10. There is no weak link in the cast. All of the voicing in this game is of an immaculate standard, and I'm over the moon that the voice acting is up to scratch, because we all know that when a character says his lines like this, that it is shit and nobody likes it, because nobody believes it, and everybody knows that when you don't believe it, you lose immersion and you don't care about the character anymore. I gotta say that out of all of the elements in this game that are nostalgic, the music is the best. It puts you right back to wherever you were when you played the first Final Fantasy VII, if you are in fact old enough to have played it. It throws me right back to when me, my brothers and my cousin Ricky used to sit around watching the one player who was playing but still enjoying the ride either way. We had fun times with Final Fantasy VII, how other families have fun with Monopoly. When the greatest Final Fantasy VII player of all time, my cousin Ricky, used to play, we all used to sit around all damn day. Until of course it was at one time when his 150-hour save got deleted by an unknown person who will remain unknown to and beyond this day. Sheep noise please! The gameplay in this game is cracker. For those of you who don't hail from Australia, cracker is a good thing, like a firecracker, or a Christmas cracker, or a Polly wants a cracker. Originally when I started playing the game, I thought it was similar to Final Fantasy 15 than it actually is. It took me a very short time to learn, but a very long time to master the combat system. At the start of the game, I found myself sticking to one character.
Should we wait?
As time grew on and I got a little older, a little wiser, I started to naturally use different characters during the same battle, which changed the entire dynamic of the fights I was having. I grew accustomed to the abilities and materia I had assigned to each character and who I needed when. The materia system basically stayed the same, which is fantastic. A lot of the old favourite weapons returned, which was amazing. There are new weapon upgrade features that I don't mind. Battles don't feel tired and old, and often some element of your gameplay needs to be changed depending on the enemy. The exploration in the game is fun without being exceptional. Finding items is usually straightforward. However, from what I hear on the grapevine, there are some Easter eggs and unlocks that you basically have to fluke to find, which I like. I don't mind if they make some things ultra hard to unlock, and I'm sure now that Future Me has uploaded this video and I allow myself to watch other reviews and walkthroughs, that I will facepalm and realise that I missed half of the game. But alas, I am a mere mortal and I only spent 50 hours, 50 hours on the game, 50 hours on the first playthrough on the game, and I've probably missed everything. I had a ball with all of the elements of gameplay in this game. Sheep noise please. Okay, and on to the very last part of this review, which is the story. Small spoiler alert, if you're spoiler sensitive, please turn this off now. Okay, this is where all my complimentary ball sucking of the Final Fantasy VII Remake stops. Final Fantasy VII, the original, had the perfect story. There was nothing wrong with it. And they've gone in and made what's perfect imperfect. I don't care about those stupid spirit things. Why the hell is Sephiroth being introduced to us so early in the game? If you played Final Fantasy VII the original, you remember exactly the first time you saw Sephiroth, and you'll never forget it. After being a shadow in the first act in the original, you finally saw him, and when you did, it was absolutely breathtaking. Why are we introduced to him so early in the game? Where is the chase? Give me the chase. I want the chase. Why are they ruining perfection? My second problem with this game, which I will correctly refer to as a gripe, is a thing that happens when you get out of Midgar. If they had stopped the game right at the end of the highway where it should have stopped, I would have been stoked. But instead, they had to go full Kingdom Hearts on us and just start doing all sorts of crazy stuff that was not necessary in the story at all. I gotta be honest guys, this second thing in particular has really left a bad taste in my mouth if you couldn't already tell. But alas, it is in my nature to go towards the negative and run away from the positive, but we don't have to worry. The overwhelming majority of the game's story is excellent and have done a great job in adapting what was originally a perfect story into a somewhat perfect story. Overwhelmingly, fantastic. Little bits and pieces, not great. Alright, so the scoreboard is visuals, hard 10, sound, hard 10, gameplay, a very good 9.5, and stories 8.5. Overall giving it a score of 9.5, which is an extremely high score. Now, time for the little caveat, as I so often put caveats. The story score I've given of 8.5 is because I'm so madly in love with the old story from the original Final Fantasy VII. If I hadn't played the original Final Fantasy VII, I would have given this story a far higher score because it is an excellent story, although it does sound like I'm trashing the hell out of it in my story section. It's just I don't believe that you can improve on perfection, and Final Fantasy VII, the original, is perfection. Guys, this game is fantastic. If you're umming and ahhing about getting this game, get off your fat ass and go and get it now. This is not a soft recommendation, go out and get it. It doesn't matter if you're new to Final Fantasy or if you played the old Final Fantasy like I did. This game is for everyone in my opinion, and I think you'd be doing yourself a great disservice if you don't at least try this game out. Alright guys and gals, we did it! We're all done. Thank you for sticking around while I try to hone my craft. If you saw anything you like or dislike, please let me know in the comments below. And if you see any potential or you like anything that I did today, please like and subscribe. It lets me know that I'm getting better at what I do. Thank you. Say yeah.
Jumbuck?